Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. This is episode 319, day 319 as well of my journey. I am your host, Scott. At the beginning of the year, I challenged myself to run 365 days in a row, all outside, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring. I also challenged myself to run 1,500 miles within this time frame. Also within this time frame, I've challenged myself to run two big races. One of those races being a 50K ultra marathon trail race. That was the Yankee Springs 50K trail race in Middleville, Michigan on day 156 of my journey. I finished that within 7 hours, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds. I also challenged myself to run the Detroit Free Press Marathon on day 290 of my journey. I was shooting for a sub 4 hour time within that and was able to finish that within 3 hours, 57 minutes, and 28 seconds. So I was able to get that as well. So both those races were PRs for me, and was able to not only run those races but keep the streak alive to current day, which is day 319. And let's break down the miles for today. So for today, day 319, got out there and put in 7 miles. And this is the beginning of the week, so that put me at 7 miles for the week. But that put me at 108.7 miles for the month. And that put me at 1,468.1 miles for the year. So we're 31.9 miles away from closing out this yearly's goal of 1,500 miles. But we're going to focus in on these monthly miles of 108.7. Every single month I challenge myself to run a 100-mile challenge. I do it in honor of a charity in which I donate money to, as well as start a coinciding fundraiser to try to raise money for and awareness for throughout the month. So for the first 10 months, was able to raise money for 10 great charities. Now we're here within the 11th month, the month of November, and we're raising money for yet another great charity, that charity being Movember. You can find the link to donate to this month's charity on the Defining Discipline Instagram story or the Defining Discipline Facebook story, or my personal page's Instagram story, or my personal page's Facebook story. Within those stories, you just click on the link. It'll open up the Facebook page where you're actually able to make your donations. Keep in mind that all donations that get made to this fundraiser go directly to this fundraiser. Facebook is not taking or keeping any portion or percentage of your donations. Also, within this link, when you click on it, this is where you're actually able to also find out a little bit more about this month's fundraiser, November, as well as you can click on that share button to share it so others will be able to find out a little bit more about this month's fundraiser, November. We're trying to raise as much awareness for this cause as possible, and the best way to do that is get as many eyes on it as possible. So you guys could help out by clicking on that share button, putting it on your page, and asking others as well to share it, to get as many eyes on it. Even if no more money gets raised, or whatever the case is, the whole point is we're trying to raise awareness throughout these months for these causes. So click that share button, get your donations in, and find out a little bit more about this month's cause for November, which is actually Movember. Now, other than that, we can kind of get into today's actual episode. But as always, right before we do so, we are going to go over today's word of the day for November 15th, which is wormhole. A wormhole is a hypothetical structure of space-time that is envisioned as a long, thin tunnel connecting points that are separated in, space and time. It's interesting that the definition actually has it as a hypothetical structure. But that is the word of the day for November 15th. And you know what? For the hell of it, we will screenshot it. Now, today's episode 319, day 319. Let's get right into today's episode. Today's episode is Juggle. Because honestly, guys, this month, that's what this has been. It has been closing out this year has been a true juggle. Last month kind of had a little bit of time off and a little bit more time, even though I didn't have much time because a lot of it I was resting towards the end of October from COVID. So this month I really wanted to make up in mileage and started to really go hard, and then with everything else I need to get done on a daily basis, like go to work and just get things done around the house, spend time with the kid, the wife, and do our daily things that we go out shopping and all that stuff together, to kind of fit all that together in with the runs. And so far I think I was at 18 hours, I think, officially for the month. Yeah, 18 hours of out running. Within 15 days, I've been out there for 18 hours, 15 days. So, I just been juggling back and forth all my time, and it's kind of it is very draining. My body feels good, but just my life in general, like work, run, personal life, work, run, personal life, work, run, personal life. Just trying to like not drop anything, just to keep everything going. And it's definitely been a challenge. But at the same time, it's what keeps me going. It's the fuel that keeps me really working hard at all three. It keeps me, be thinking. Um, a lot of the times, what I mean by this is a lot of times when a lot of stuff gets put on people, especially too much stuff, the stress can be overwhelming. But there's also a perfect fine line of stress and uh, balance of that stress that can really get you kind of floating in perfection and just kind of flowing in that, like I said, in perfection, basically, in that perfect state of, you know, just knocking things out and being consistent and me getting out there and putting in the miles, has kind of got me in a mental state that I think I truly need to be in. But again, it's kind of stretching me thin with the amount of time I have to get everything else done, with still having to go to work. But being at work, it's also a great experience and awesome. I really love it. So, um, just trying to get everything together, as well as with getting my home life together as well. You know, love being at home, love being with the family and the daughter, and watching her hit all of her milestones and do all these fun things with her, and teaching her things, and watching her just light up every time she sees us, and just her laugh and her giggles, and spending that time with my wife as well. Um, and it's when all three of them, when you're getting all of them together, and not necessarily, again, you're not juggling where you're dropping any of them, but you got them all together and they're all working in harmony. It works out real well. So, um, but again, it's right there on the brink where it's almost a little bit too much. So just still trying to wrangle it up a little bit tighter and not drop anything. Um, Trying to get this back in order is the main thing. The runs, the time with the family and work is the easy part. It is finding just enough time to get these episodes in, get the post in after the actual run, get all the photos uploaded and all that stuff. It has definitely taken a toll, but mostly just probably the podcast. Honestly, I kind of bit off more than I can chew with really, um, going out there and doing a daily podcast to talk about it, and especially putting in some decent time talking about it as well. That has been, at sometimes throughout the year, a challenge, but especially this month with putting in the amount of hours I've been putting in at work with the family and on the actual streets running. It leaves me limited time to get these episodes uploaded, so I've been staying up a little bit later, getting a little bit less sleep. Just it's all kind of adding up where it's starting to catch up a little bit, but staying on top of everything and trying to keep that perfect balance of harmony and juggling everything, like I said, the work life, the home life, and the exercise and the health. So trying to keep all of those balanced within, where I'm happy at all of them and happy with all of them. So currently am there. Again, the struggle has mostly been with getting all of these posts and everything uploaded. So kind of just to quickly touch on that, going into the new year, there will be a new format. I think in December, uh, we will continue these posts kind of how they have been, but we're going to touch more on how the new season, the new podcast going into next year is going to be. It will most likely, and by most likely I mean 99.9%, be a weekly podcast, and the goal is to do a quick kind of update on the mileage, the streak, and kind of have a guest on too to highlight them and really kind of talk about them and their running and how they got into running and what they do with their training. So I really want to kind of transform this into more of that kind of a podcast once a week. The posts will probably continue. Um, again, not 100% on that, how they will work, but we will be doing still probably daily posts to the Defining Discipline page, and try to keep that format we kind of got going right now with the season one, 365 days. Um, and we probably will start the new season off with the jump. And what I mean by the jump is today is day 319, but it is truly day 322 because I actually ran 3 days prior to the new year. I ran on 29th, the 30th, and the 31st of December 2020, and then ran on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd. So that was where I kind of started day 4 on day 1, but didn't want to do that within the format of the social media and all that. So I think I'm going to try to make up for that and just recount that into the following year and just go into the actual streak and not do it by like, you know, 319 or 365. It would just say, um, like I said, I'd do the jump. So I'd technically be at, I'd probably start at 369 would be the first day, first upload would be 369, because 365 would done, would finish the year. 366, 367, and 368 were all done. Um, like I said, in 2020 on December 29th, December 30th, and December 31st. So we may do that jump, but we're going to try to keep that format of kind of like the checkerboard of a post and just maybe just a daily quote or something stupid on the other one. I don't know, not stupid, something inspiring, but something to try to keep the format looking clean like that. Um, but kind of really excited to get into this next year, start some new challenges, new goals going forward to miles, races, things like that. So, really looking forward to keeping this thing rolling into the following year. Um, but again, right now, just trying to tighten in that juggle that I kind of got going on within here within this month of November of putting in the hours, putting in the hours at work, putting in the hours at home, and trying to get all of these uploaded in time. and get to bed in time and not lose sleep and um, not feel just constantly moving. Have a little bit of time, maybe even just an hour to kind of just sit back and have my brain not go at like 100 miles an hour thinking of, all right, after this I got to do this, and after this I got to do this, and after this I got to do this, after this I got to do this, after this I got to do this, just constantly. So, I can wish all I want. I don't think it's going to happen, but who knows. So today's episode was about and is about the juggle I currently got going on, and just in life we're going to, in life you're going to have to juggle things. You're going to have to juggle your personal life with your professional life. You're going to have to juggle and sacrifice things. Life is a juggle. It is trying to really juggle your time properly to benefit you within the best possible way. So for your daily discipline, it is to do exactly that. It is to figure out what current juggle you got going on and to think about it. Is it benefiting you in the best possible way? If not, figure out a better way you can juggle your time in order to really benefit you within the best possible way, which is again something I'm going to be trying to do here. And what I mean even by that is, mostly here in November, we're 15 days in. Most of these have been night runs. And I notice when I get night runs in, I'm just kind of overwhelmed and stressed out, and I have even less time to really get the posts in, go through the pictures and all that jazz. So, but it's hard when I get up in the morning because I'm just tired and sore and don't have the motivation. But that is something that I think I can truly work on here, that would help me juggle this dilemma I'm having a little bit better by taking a little bit of weight off. If I can get up early enough. And another thing I think I'm going to do is in order to still spend time, because these past few mornings, instead of running, I've been spending a little bit more time with my daughter and helping out the wife by getting up with her, changing her diaper, and playing with her and stuff while she kind of gets a little bit more sleep. So thinking I may even start transitioning and taking her with me on some of these runs within the actual morning, getting up before work, just taking the baby, getting out, taking her out there for a run, and getting back. Wife will get up, have coffee ready, maybe some breakfast, still spend a little bit of time with her as I'm going through the pictures, have them ready to upload after work, get the episode done after work, maybe even if I have enough time, possibly even get it done before work, and if not, just get it done right after work, and then maybe be able to balance that a little bit of time better, and then still have all time after work to spend again with the family. So trying to get that better juggle going on here, and I think that is a better attack for me to do on this juggle I have going on, and that will benefit me best. So that is what I think I'm going to try to really do here, maybe for the rest of the month, and even try to do it here going into December. And another thing, if I do that, the way to look at it and benefit from it is, it has been getting real dark early. Not that I mind going out there and running in the dark, but it does kind of benefit you a little bit more, getting a little bit more vitamin D, getting as much sunshine as possible, getting up there in the morning and getting that run in. So I think that is a good plan of attack for me, and I'm going to really try to start it tomorrow, even though I'm already pushing. It's definitely after midnight getting this episode in, pushing 1:20 a.m. I'm going to try to get up at 8, fighting sleep here, but let's do it. So thank you guys so much for following along. Episode 219 in a row. I already gave you your daily discipline, which is to figure out the best way to juggle the things in your life to benefit you best. Now, other than that, like I said, episode 219, Defining Discipline podcast. Give this podcast a like, a subscribe, a follow, a share on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and whatever podcast streaming platform you've been following along and listening on. Other than that, again, thank you guys so much for listening and following along. I will see you guys tomorrow for episode 320. And until then, stay disciplined and peace out.